It has always been kids that push me to the next level with my work. I've said this before, but I cannot state it enough. Every time there is like a new progression in my work, it comes from young people, and I'll tell you about it. So today is day 92 of my Practicing Visibility series. I'm in a great mood, which is funny because today I got feedback from a student that was really mean. It was like the meanest feedback I've ever gotten from a kid. And to me, I viewed it as practice of like, as I grow bigger, I've said this before, but as I grow bigger, like people are not gonna like me. People are gonna hate the work. People are gonna misconstrue what I say. And it's okay. I'm not mad at this kid. I'm not mad at the teachers I was talking about yesterday who don't like my work. I just know it's part of the process. But I wanna talk about these kids. I wanna give a shout out to Leo. But also just like this group of boys from Stone Valley and also BB. Several students have like approached me and told me and talked to me about my Twitch channel. And I've talked about this before, but I love Twitch. I love Twitch. I'm not like a super serious guy, and my content is so emotional and so dry. And it's like people who watch it who don't know me in real life will be like, why are you so emotional and boring online when you're so funny in person? Like humor is a big way that I connect with people, especially kids. Like I use humor a lot with young people. And Twitch is great because I get to be myself. I get to use humor. I can still talk about things like self-compassion and self-talk and all the things that I teach kids about without having to do it in this kind of like Mr. Rogers way. Like this is my own type of Mr. Rogers work where I'm streaming online and playing video games. And I was kind of like frustrated with myself for a long time because I have all the equipment and I had the time and space, but I put so much pressure on myself because I'm like in my head, I know if I make Twitch clips that's where I'm gonna get a lot of new young people to follow me. I think people will respond to that content way better than they're responding to this, even though at the core of Twitch content, it is the same content. But I started putting all this pressure on myself. So every time I would even think about streaming, I wouldn't do it. And then it just got to this place of like, I'm never gonna do it again, right? And that would be such a shame because I really loved it and I really believed that it would be the next step for me. So at this school that I was just at, I told the kids that. I was really honest with them about it because I was teaching 7th graders about self-limiting beliefs. And that was like what happened to me was I believed that I had to be perfect and that I could make mistakes and I had to do it the right way, so much that pressure stopped me from doing it. And I'm missing opportunities to do what I want to do because of a belief I have that I have to be perfect or it has to look this way or I have to stream this many times. And I said it in a speech and I was like, I want to get back into it. And Leo, an 8th grade boy, was like, yo, we will show up in the comments. We will show up in the chat. Like we will be the community for you basically. And I mean, I've talked about this with him and I think we talked to his mom about it because it was such a cool form of community care for me. And I don't believe that it's kind or fair to treat kids as if they have no power over adults. And I don't mean power like control, but I mean like the ability to impact somebody. Because just that little offer of support, which was then followed up by other boys and kids being like, yes, we will have your back. That's the kind of community support that gets me to do something. And I don't know if I've said this before, but on this series, but I had a kid in middle school during the pandemic who encouraged me to put my teaching on TikTok. He was the person that was like, you should put this up. You said you wanted to be a speaker. People will like watching this. And I did it. And I'm literally here because of that kid. And so I give a lot of credit to the young people in my life who have helped me get where I am. Even the kids who were tough, right? Who who resisted the work, they always teach me something. And so this summer, right after my tour, I don't really have anything booked. I'm gonna be doing my leadership program I'm offering for free, but that's only 6 weeks. And then starting in September, I'm booked again. So I have the summer off, perfect time for Twitch, right? I have 2 camps that I used to volunteer for. I'm not going back to one and then the other one. Anyways, I'm gonna spend my time doing what I love, and that comes from young people. So I'm super grateful to Stone Valley. You guys are my heart. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I've had this huge shift from the beginning of this series because I'm doing a lot of work on trying to listen to my own voice. The same stuff I teach kids is like I'm trying to listen to my own voice. I'm trying to trust myself more. And the more that I do that, the easier that everything feels. I know that people say it has to be hard. I saw a video today that was like, if you're pursuing your dream, you have to sacrifice everything. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true for everyone. I don't think that that's a helpful message. I can have a life full of community and love and support and family and hobbies, and also have a job that I really care about. I don't have to believe that's a self-limiting belief that if I pursue the thing I want with all of my heart, that I have to sacrifice myself. And so I'm gonna have fun. And shout out to Leo and shout out to the kids who encouraged me to get back into it, because it's where I have fun. And you will see, watch, you'll see. When I'm having fun, it's way more engaging. And I think right now with the manosphere and video games being a place where a lot of that toxic behavior is starting to come up again, this is the perfect time for me to step into it. So that's what I'm gonna do. It is my day off. Just got off of a meeting with the wonderful Miss Katie, or Katie Sings. And I'm gonna spend some time with my friends, and I'm going camping tomorrow. And I'm gonna see some of my former students, and I'm gonna enjoy my life. And then I'm going to start a new middle school next week. And it's gonna be great. I can have both. If you're watching this, you may have been told that you have to sacrifice everything in order to get what you want. That is a belief. If you choose that belief, it will probably look that way for you. Another one I'm offering to you, leave it or take it, is that it can be easier than that. You can have balance. You can have a full personal and professional life. You don't have to sacrifice or burn yourself down to the ground for a dream. If you do, that's okay. Choose it, I guess. But if you don't, choose the other way of thinking. Give yourself an expansive belief, not a shrinking, limiting belief, something that opens you up. Because when you're opened up, things can come to you, right? If I'm closed, nothing can get into me. And self-limiting beliefs close us. So yes, see you all tomorrow. Maybe, yes, tomorrow. I will record before I go camping.